Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy and honored to be your host this evening as we recognize the hard work of those people and organizations who join us and who every day make a difference in our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to officially welcome you to the 15th Annual Latino Diamante Awards. We're very pleased to once again bring this celebration to the Bull City, and it is now my honor to introduce you to Durham City's Councilman Mike Woodward.
President Osuba and the Board of Directors of Diamante, to our honorees this evening, and ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Durham tonight, and we are always delighted to have groups like this here and to welcome you all back. So on behalf of the City Council and 240,000 residents of Durham and our city administration, represented tonight by our wonderful director and previous honoree, Yvonne Pena, Director of Human Relations, Yvonne Pena, we're glad to have you here as we celebrate North Carolina's rich Hispanic and Latino culture. It's something that we in Durham, I think, do very well, and that is recognize our Hispanic and Latino culture. We've embraced it here. We honor it almost daily in our business life, in our political life, in our arts and culture, and in our civic life. And even when tough issues come, like draconian immigration laws, we in Durham are proud to stand up and to point out the bad immigration policies and those things that are wrong and those things that are challenge Hispanic and Latino people in across the country. I want to congratulate and thank Diamante for the great work it has done over the years and in recognizing culture. And as I earlier tonight viewed the previous winners, previous honorees and recipients of the Diamante Award, I was just so impressed with the people who are leaders, individuals and organizations who are leaders in our state, and the wonderful contributions that they've made. So I want to congratulate this evening honorees as they join this distinguished group of men, women, and organizations. It is a real pleasure for me to be here. I look forward to the presentations tonight and to our music and gala celebration afterwards. So once again, welcome to Durham.
Now I want you to help me welcome one of our elected representatives from the 4th Congressional District here in North Carolina, a gentleman who has been quintessential to advancing the idea that Latinos are here to stay and that we're here to contribute to this country. So without further ado, I want you to help me welcome Representative David Price.
Great to be here with you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thanks to the Diamante Association for once again bringing all of us together and honoring these remarkable achievements. It seems like each year the awardee list couldn't get more impressive. When you just read down the list and the kind of contributions that the awardees have made in various areas of community life. But each year seems to top the one before. So congratulations to all the awardees. And I was very, very privileged to be one myself a few years ago, a Latino Advocate awardee, and I still consider myself a Latino advocate. And And I think what that means is at the very heart of what it should mean to be an American and to be a member of this community and have aspirations for the kind of community we want to be, the kind of opportunity we want to open to all of our people, the kind of fairness that we want to be known for, the kind of welcoming atmosphere we want to have in our community so that people understand that we value diversity. We value the contributions that people from all over the world, people of diverse languages and cultures, bring to us here. It adds to the richness of our own community. I think the those ideals are widely shared here in North Carolina, and I think this organization is on the forefront of promoting these ideals. Yes, it's for the Latino community, but it's also for all of us, because this really is the kind of community that we want to have. Now, we're all aware that these aren't the easiest times in North Carolina or in the country. There are economic difficulties that many of the people around us, our friends and neighbors, are going through. And it's a long road back, longer than we would like, to bring this economy back to full strength, to make sure that everyone's at work. But it's not a job to get discouraged about. On the contrary, it's a job to rededicate ourselves to. And so we need to push very hard in this organization and just in any way we can. Push very hard for a healthy, vibrant community. One way to do that is to advocate for the kinds of policies that give people opportunity, that do create economic strength, good public education, good training in our community colleges, investment in our infrastructure, investments in research, and so many of you are involved in all these fields. And tonight I want to just briefly stress one addition to that list that I think is very, very important, and that is a rational reform of our immigration system. I know you work on that, and I know it's discouraging sometimes, because sometimes the louder voices, the less reasonable voices, seem to dominate the airwaves. But as a matter of fact, this country has been built from the very first on immigration, and we count on people from other countries and other cultures to fill many of our jobs. And what a welcoming community is all about is understanding that and being hospitable, being fair to the latest generation to join our community. In particular, educational opportunity is at stake with the DREAM Act, which is federal legislation that we really should pass. We must pass. And we don't have to wait on total immigration reform to do that, to give these young people who have gone to our schools and prove themselves, give them an opportunity to further their education. That shouldn't be too heavy a lift politically, although unfortunately it has been delayed. I think we should keep pushing on that, and I think we need an overall reform effort to be pushed in the next Congress, and we don't want to fail at this. We need to be smart about this, but we really cannot afford in this country to have this problem festering, or to delude ourselves that this is something that can be solved by enforcement alone. It cannot. I'm the chairman of the Homeland Security Funding Committee. I've been to the border many times, and I have never met a Border Patrol officer who would say this is just about enforcement. They more than anyone know that that's not the case. So we need to take a comprehensive, rational, and fair approach. And I know you advocate for that, as well as for all sorts of other opportunities for young people in our community. And I thank you for that, and I'm proud to be your partner in this effort. And now it's time to celebrate. So thank you for being here and for organizing such a wonderful community event. Thank you for inviting me. Enjoy your dinner, and let's have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
And furthermore, tonight we're also joined by somebody that I'm going to introduce next, and he's going to speak to us real quick, and that is Consul Carlos Flores Vizcarra, the Consul General of Mexico here in Raleigh. So, Consul, thank you for being here with us.
Jaime, muchas gracias. Muy amable. Jaime, muchas gracias. Muy buenas noches. Muy buenas noches a todos. Thank you very much, Jaime. It is an honor to be with you this evening and to have the opportunity to share a few thoughts with you. firstly to say that it is indeed a great opportunity to speak about the cultural effort that has been spearheaded by Diamante Inc. I am a newcomer. I've been on my job for only 1 year, and I've been witness of the great work that Diamante has done throughout the years. So I want you to share with me the great admiration that we have for Diamante Inc., giving a great and warm applause to Diamante Inc., please. As Consul General of Mexico, I am indeed very much committed to helping our community. But helping our community not only because I represent Mexicans here in North Carolina and South Carolina, but basically because it is a Latin American task and a mission to enhance the convergence, the cultural convergence in the United States. And I think that Diamante is a good representative of that mission. The United States is increasingly changing. The United States is already a country of over 300 million inhabitants, 307 million. But in the coming 30 years, the United States will become a country, a society of over 440 million people. And basically, the largest group, the fastest growing segment of that population will be Hispanics. And there you will find the thrust and the importance of Mexicans in the United States. So we take this opportunity in order to speak about the importance and the sense of responsibility that we have in order to contribute to mainstream cultural diversity in the United States. Here in the Carolinas is not only about how the United States was forged, how it became this great country that it is, but also how tolerant and how great the acceptance is for diversity. In the coming years, Diamante will be challenged, and I know that you will be supporting all the initiatives that Diamante Inc. represents. Diamante Inc. has been with us throughout the years, and we have to understand that in the coming phases of history in our local community, Diamante has a role to play. And the role that Diamante has played is very important as we personify the talents and the commitments of people, in particular those who are of Mexican origin. And I want to point out the importance of three very significant friends of ours: Ms. Volkmer, Jackie Metivier, and Ana Cabello. Please join me in applauding them as they contribute to Diamante. As we said, cultural convergence in the U.S. is a challenge to everybody. It's not a mission or a task that can be accomplished by one person, by a group of persons, but it has to have the effort and join the effort of everybody. And that is why we are very happy tonight to have the presence of Councilman Mike Woodward with us tonight. Please join me in applauding his presence tonight. And finally, everybody knows that, every entity has a great capacity as long as we have open and ample thoughts. And in that sense, we have to recognize tonight the great personal effort and family contribution to Diamante Inc. that throughout the years, Rafael Osuba has done. Please let us recognize that. Finally, but not least, I also want to recognize the particular effort of folks here in Durham, like the Cooperativa Latina, particularly John Herrera and his lovely wife who are with us tonight. So let us be optimistic about the future of Diamante. Diamante Inc. is challenging the new blood, the new folks, the new people who are making part of this great effort. Culture is significantly the most important contribution that Mexicans and Latin Americans are doing to the United States. Mexico is a country that is very important in terms of partnership to the U.S. It is the most important partner in economical terms, in social terms, and it has contributed with its demographic bonus to exploiting the capacities of a state like North Carolina by enhancing the great talent that exists in rural North Carolina that contributes to the state economy over $75 billion a year. So I want to express my thanks to Diamante Inc. and in particular to Rafael Osuba for giving me the opportunity to be with you tonight. Y que siga adelante, Diamante Inc. Thank you very much.
Señor Consul, thank you very much for your remarks, and thank you for all the work that you do for not only the Mexican community, but also for helping to advance Mexican culture and making our community richer because of it.
Se quede el infinito sin estrellas, o que pierda el ancho mar su inmensidad, pero el negro de tus ojos que no muera, y el canela de tu piel se queda igual. Si perdiera el arco iris su belleza y las flores, su perfume y su color, no sería tan inmensa mi tristeza como aquella de quedarme sin tu amor. Me gustas tú y tú y tú y nadie más que tú y tú y tú y tú y tú. Me importas tú y tú y tú y nadie más que tú. Ojos negros, piel canela, que me llegan a desesperar. Me importas tú y tú y tú, y nadie más que tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, me importas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú. Si perdiera el arco iris, su belleza y las flores, su perfume y su color, no sería tan inmensa mi tristeza como aquella de quedarme sin tu amor. Me gustas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, me importas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú. Ojos negros, piel de canela, que me llegan a desesperar. Me gustas tú, y tú, y tú, y solamente tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, me importas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú. Me gustas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, y tú. Me importas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú. Me gustas tú, y tú, y tú, y solamente tú, y tú, y tú, y tú, y tú. Me gustas tú, y tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú. Y nadie más que tú, y nadie más que tú. Buenas noches, un placer de estar aquí con ustedes. Quiero agradecerles por atender a este evento, esta noche tan especial para todos nosotros. Quiero presentarme, soy Cristian Cañaveral, cantautor, compositor del pop latino, y esta noche estoy con mi banda aquí queriendo traer un poquito de los recuerdos de nuestra música.
Now we're going to continue with the program. So I want you to help me welcome Gustavo Schmidt, the treasurer of Diamante's Board of Directors.
Okay. 15 years ago, Lisette and a group of Latino gave form to these awards. Since then, over 113 individuals and organizations have been recognized for their work in the Latino community. Diamante has granted these awards to individuals and organizations that have demonstrated excellence, achieved recognition, been successful, or contributed to the quality of the life and success of the Hispanics in our state. So, how does it work? This process is very simple. The public make nominations from across the state in various categories, and the selection committee is then formed by folks in the community. After reviewing dozens of nominations, days of deliberation, and some hard debated, and a recipient for each category is selected. Jaime Leon chaired the selection committee that was also integrated by committee members Luis Dolan, former Youth Scholar recipient Yesenia Polanco, and Francia Luis Estrada. We, the board, would like to thank them for their hard work and time through this process. We will also like to thank you for nominating these very deserving individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Gustavo, and thank you to the committee for all the hard work. I've been in it before, and it's not an easy task to select the people who are to be awarded. And I can promise you there are plenty more in the community, so don't forget, once again, here's the sales pitch. Don't forget to nominate them next year as well for the 16th Latino Diamante Awards. Now let's take a few moments and highlight a few of the programs that Diamante puts together throughout the year. We start off with the lighting of a tree of hope. We raise funds and toys to provide for needy families in the community. We continue with the Three Kings Parade and gift-giving celebration. Also this year we had the first book fair, and we had more than 12 Latino writers and team up with the Mexican consulate to bring an author from Mexico. We also just celebrated our 6th annual Ritmo Latino Festival and had more than 6,000 people come to this free festival. And of course, we also have our Latino Diamante Awards, which we're now celebrating in the 15th edition of it. So now we're getting to a very interesting part of the program, and we couldn't be any more excited about tonight's keynote speaker. Usually the rule is that with age comes experience, but this is not always the case. A native of Brooklyn, New York, and at only 20 years of age, Samuel Flores has done something that many of us in this room can only dream of doing. I don't want to spoil it, for I will let Samuel tell you his story. But what I can tell you is that this young man is the protagonist of an odyssey. And no, I'm not talking about Homer and Odysseus' adventures. Saul's story is different. With the current debate about immigration and human rights, Saul decided that he wanted to trace the steps of the many immigrants that come into our communities every year. And this idea took him to Ecuador, where he began a foot journey that months later will take him to Charlotte, North Carolina. But that throughout the way will open his eyes to the life of others and to that experience that he's now going to share with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Saul Flores.
Hello, my name is Saul Flores. I'm 20 years old. I'm a graphic design and business marketing student at NC State University, and I am so grateful to be here. Nothing means more to me than to have the support of Diamante and to have the supporters of Diamante supporting this. So thank you so much. And I'd also like to play a video to introduce you to a project that I made this past summer entitled The Walk of the Immigrants. Yo caminé, and so I walked, across borders that divide us, north and south, that divide our cultures, divide our economies, divide our people, our families. But I carried the dreams that unite us for a better life, a better world, un mundo mejor. And I carried my camera. Over the summer of 2010, I made a journey of more than 5,000 miles. I walked, I hitchhiked, I rode buses, canoes, from the rainforest of Quito, Ecuador, to my hometown in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is a walk that many people make, that many people in my family have made, to reach the United States. It is the walk of the immigrants. The journey was difficult, exhausting, and dangerous, but it was filled with moments of intense beauty and quiet joy. This is the story of my journey. In the spring, I visited Atencingo, Mexico, with a group of students from North Carolina State University. This group, the Caldwell Fellows, is dedicated to service and leadership. In Atencingo, we spent 5 days at a local elementary school, La Escuela de General Emiliano Zapata. We tutored the children in English, helped them clean the school grounds, planted trees, and gave them haircuts. All of us built strong relationships with the children, who welcomed us with open arms and open hearts. The children live in very difficult circumstances. They live in one of the poorest areas of Atencingo. They are the street kids of the community. Many of them work after school, and when they get home, many of them have little to eat. Some do not even have beds. Many of the children's parents have left to seek work in the United States. It's heartbreaking to see families torn apart, to see children waiting and not knowing whether they will ever see their parents again. I decided that I wanted to do everything I could to help the children of Atencingo, to raise money to renovate their school, to give them the blessings of education and hope for a better future. I also wanted to bring attention to the sacrifices that immigrants and their families make on both sides of the border, to show how difficult it is to make the journey to the United States. Along the journey, I took more than 20,000 photographs, and I am selling prints on my photo blog. Every dollar that I raise will be used to help the kids of Atencingo. As I traveled, I found beauty in the cultures of Latin America, the colors of Panama and Colombia, the ruins of Honduras and Guatemala, people preserving their traditional arts and music in Mexico. We are a people with a heritage stretching back thousands of years. I found beauty in the environment, the beaches of Costa Rica, the rainforests of Ecuador, the rolling hills of Colombia, the green fields of Mexico. I found beauty in the people, the tribal leader in Ecuador, the woman crowding the marketplaces in Guatemala, the Kuna villagers along the archipelago de San Blas. I also found poverty and need, people striving to preserve their way of life while they adapt to modern technologies. I saw the conditions that drive people to seek a better life in the United States, to make the walk of the immigrants. Along my journey, I saw many distinct cultures, different foods, different dialects, different styles of clothing, different lifestyles. But I met only one people in Ecuador, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Belize, Mexico, and the United States. We are, all of us, Americans. Hello. All right, that's a lot better. Thank you. I'd like to thank David Hunt from NC State News Relations for composing this video. David Hunt has been a huge support, and he's probably the reason that Rafael was able to contact me. He's invested so much of his energy in this project, and I'm grateful for that. I had the opportunity before this event started to speak to a lot of people about this journey, and a lot of individuals came up to me and they asked me if I enjoyed this trip. And that's a very complicated question to answer, because throughout this trip, I was traveling under very strenuous conditions, and it was my hope to imitate the journey of a migrant, to truly understand the conditions of immigrants coming into this country. And I'd like to recap once again through the slides the purpose of this walk, the walk of the immigrants. The walk of the immigrants was a journey from Quito, Ecuador to Charlotte, North Carolina. And the first reason why I decided to do this was to enlighten the American audience on a prominent issue in our culture, in the American culture, and that's immigration. I wanted to stress the idea that migrants are coming from all over the world, from every corner of every continent, from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, from Latin America. South and Central migrants are coming into this country, and we need to embrace that. And they're going through hell to get to this country, and I think that it's only right to shed light on the journey of immigrants coming into this country. And another thing that I would like to mention is that immigrants that are coming into this country are coming for a range of reasons. But it's very different, because it's not that immigrants are coming into this country for a job or for money. They're coming into the United States because of the very reasons that we were placed on this planet as human beings, and that's the instinct of survival, of being able to nurture your family, take care of your children, take care of your mother, your godmother, your little sister. That's why immigrants are coming into this country. The second reason that I wanted to make this walk was to document the journey of the undocumented. It was my hope that from Quito, Ecuador to Charlotte, North Carolina, I was going to be able to capture a lot of community, a lot of culture. You know, having grown up in a Latin American home, I know how beautiful Latin America is. I've had the privilege of traveling to so many countries, and I know that we're so rich in arts, in language, in folklore, in our paintings, in tejidos, you know, Spanish fabrics, handmade. And I wanted to be able to capture that and then translate it to show the American culture, the capabilities of the Latin American communities, and how much we have to offer, how much we have, and how we can benefit this society. And my third reason was to fundraise for a school. These little kids in Atencingo are very special to me in so many ways. And it was my hope to be able to sell these photographs to fundraise, you know, to sell each photograph and direct all the revenue towards this impoverished school in Atencingo. And I'll talk a little bit more about this school as I present. And my fourth and probably most important reason why I made this journey was to bring awareness. I am a Mexican-American student with descent in El Salvador as well. And I can say from pure honesty that it is an extremely difficult time for the Latin American communities in this country right now. It's heartbreaking to see the conditions under which the Latin American families are going through right now. Individuals are being deported. Families are being separated. Communities are being destroyed. It's heartbreaking to think of the extent that the Latin American communities have to go through in this current day, after so much that we've been through as the American culture, to think that we're still in this position to treat the Latin American community how they've been treated. And it's hurtful because it's something that affects my life every single day. It's something that has direct consequences to me, to my little brother, to my little sister, to the education of them. And it's something that I wanted to be able to bring awareness to. And I was fortunate, you know, thanks to NC State, thanks to David Hunt, we had more than 30,000 viewers throughout the summer. And people began to understand, people began to listen and see the cultural beauties of the Latin American communities and understand the journey that migrants are making into this country. Can you go to... A major reason why I made this walk was to understand how migrants come into this country, why migrants come into this country. It was my hope to be able to walk through all of these communities and see their ways of living, the good and the bad. Like I said before, the Latin American communities have so much to share, so much to show, but it's also evident that there's a lot of adversity in our countries, and it's heartbreaking. There's a lot of difficulties that our families are going through. And I wanted to make the journey of an immigrant. I wanted to come from Ecuador to Charlotte, North Carolina, to fully be able to comprehend the complexities of coming into this country by land. And it was going to take me 3 months. And I remember when I first came up with this idea, I remember thinking to myself that I had to tell my parents that I was about to embark on this journey that they themselves have made to get into this country. And I remember when I told them for the first time, and the silence that I heard in their voices said enough to me. But it didn't stop me. You know, I was strong-headed, and I wanted to experience the journey of a migrant. And I took these little kids with me. They were in my thoughts the entire way. These little kids are very special to me. They come from a school in Atencingo, Mexico, from an impoverished school in Atencingo, Mexico. And these are the street kids from this community, from Atencingo. And these kids are so beautiful because they lack a lot of things. They lack the educational resources that they need. They lack desks. You know, their desks look like splinters. They don't have textbooks. They don't have pencils. They don't have pens. They don't have the resources that they need to pursue an education. And once I've evaluated my life, I can't help but think and remember the efforts that my parents have been to me. I can't think of what my life would be if my mother and my father hadn't invested so much energy in my personal growth. I couldn't imagine not having the mental support, the financial support of a mother and a father. And what's so unfortunate about these kids is that these kids, a lot of them are homeless. A lot of them are living on the streets. A lot of them have lost their family members, and they don't know it. They're innocent still. A lot of these children have lost their parents to the Mexican-American border, and it's heartbreaking when they begin to realize the complexity of this issue. And I told myself, it's unfair, you know, despite my economical situation, despite the economic recession of this country, it's unfair that I'm blessed with so much in my life. It's unfair that because my mother had me, that I was so fortunate to amount to something in life. I was so fortunate to be able to apply for a college degree. When I came into college, I received more than 20 scholarships, and I'm so grateful. I'm so honored. But it wasn't because of me. It was because of the energy that my parents invested in myself, in my personal growth. And I kept thinking, what will these little kids amount to if they don't have the support of a family, of a mom and a dad, if they don't have a textbook to keep studying? And right now, they're at the most amazing age because their minds are like sponges. They're soaking up every piece of information you can imagine, the good and the bad. And I just couldn't see myself just letting go of these kids, coming back to my community in the United States and achieving my personal goals. It's unfair. It's unfair because of the lives that they were born into, that they have to live through such adversity and such poverty. Who am I to say that I should amount to something because of the place that I was born, the country that I was born? It's unfair, and I told myself that I would make this journey, and I would understand the difficulties of migrants coming into this country, and then I would show the American culture how hard it is to travel to get to the United States of America. Can you go to the next? Throughout my journey, I saw a lot of beautiful things. I was expecting to see so much natural wonders, so many beautiful landscapes, so many humble communities, and I did. I saw all of that. I saw everything beautiful that you could imagine. And I promised myself that I would photograph. And I did. I photographed everything that I could imagine. And then I began to see the adversities of these families, of these communities, and it broke my heart. And it put things in perspective for me. When I see so many Hispanics working so hard in the United States, I can see why they're working so hard, why they came into the United States so that they can send money to their little girl back in Honduras, in Guatemala, in Belize. I finally understood what it means to travel like a migrant. And like I said, I photographed the entire way. Everything from Ecuador, I captured the natural beauties. I met with students, I met with orphanages, and I began to see life on the other side. And I began to try to understand the difficulties of these communities. And do you mind forwarding a couple of slides, please? I want to tell you a couple of stories about my trip. I could stay up here and speak to you for a long, long time. This journey took me 3 months. I hitchhiked the entire way. I went by every mode of transportation that you can imagine. Everything from a canoe along the archipelago de San Blas through Panama, on the backs of buses. I walked side along cattle for days at a time. I was walking 10 to 12 hours a day. And when you're traveling under such extreme conditions, you begin to lose sense of so many things that you take pride in. Along this journey, I lost a lot of wonderful things that were unique to me. I lost a lot of my confidence. I lost a lot of my pride, my dignity. I reached the level of adversity that words can't describe to you. And I want to tell you about a very particular moment that happened during this trip. And it was when I met this little girl. And it happened when I was crossing the Nicaragua-Costa Rica border, from Costa Rica into Nicaragua. And like I said, I've been so blessed in my life to have all these opportunities presented to me. And I've been to almost 20 countries during my 4 years of undergraduate studies, and I'm grateful. And one of the most important things that I've learned throughout all these travel experiences that one should avoid trying to stay at a border for many reasons. Nothing about the country, but it's just best to avoid borders. And I remember when I was on the Nicaragua, on the Costa Rica, the border, and I saw the last bus that was about to leave to take me into the capital of Managua. And I'm speaking to the conductor, and I'm asking him, please, let me go on your bus, because I don't have a place to stay. I don't have a home. I don't have anywhere to go tonight. And he made a deal with me. He said that I could hop on the back of the bus. And I was so excited. I was carrying 40 pounds of weight on my backpack for 3 months, a $1,500 camera in front of me. And I had agreed to jump on the back of this bus. But I want to tell you what happened during this, these couple of minutes. And the conductor mentioned to me that this ride would take a couple of minutes, 20, 30 minutes, and it lasted much longer, much, much longer than that. I remember how cold those bars felt after 15 minutes of going 35, 40 miles an hour. I remember the fear that I had as I was traveling to Managua. And something happened for a minute. The bus slowed down. The bus decided to slow down for 45 seconds. And throughout these 45 seconds, I had the decision to either jump off and try to find a place to stay wherever it was, or keep riding. And I decided to stay on the bus. But this time I wasn't by myself. A little girl jumped on the back of the bus. And I was speaking to this girl, and I said, please get off this bus. This bus is going to pick up to 45 miles an hour. And this girl wouldn't listen to me. She wouldn't give me the time of day. She was so happy. She was so excited to be behind this bus. And here I am, terrified. I'm trembling inside. My feet are trembling. My heart's shaking. And I'm praying to God, and I'm saying, please get this little girl off the bus. And I spoke to this girl, and she wouldn't respond to me. And she was the most beautiful little girl you could imagine. She had a cyan blouse, beautiful pink pants. And, she looked like your typical, traditional Hispanic girl. And she was beautiful. She was even missing a front tooth. And the bus picks up. And it picks up to 15 miles an hour. And I'm asking this girl, please, you need to get off this bus. And she still doesn't give me any attention. And she's in her own little world. She's smiling. She's so grateful to be on the back of the bus with me. And here I am praying for both of us. And then finally, this little girl looks up to me and she says, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name's Saul Flores. Can you please get off the bus?" And she didn't respond to me. She didn't say anything to me. She didn't smile. She was in her own little world. And I let her be while I prayed. And this little girl keeps asking me, "Where are you from?" And I'm begging this girl, "Please get off this bus." And I finally ask her, "What's your name?" And she says, "My name is Maria Juanita." And I'm like, perfect. You're the perfect little Hispanic girl, and you're beautiful. Now can you please get off this bus? And she still won't respond to me. And she keeps asking me, "Where are you from? Where's your family?" And then I tell her, "I'm American, and I'm trying to get home. I'm trying to reach my family." And she says, "That's great." And she stays smiling. She's still grateful. She's still happy. There's nothing that could upset her. And here I am still going 35, 40 miles an hour. And then this little girl asks me a very special question. She says, "Do you know Juana Fernanda?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know Juana Fernanda." And I ask her, "Who's Juana Fernanda?" And she doesn't respond to me. She doesn't say anything to me. She's still smiling. She's still so happy. And then she finally looks up to me and she says, "Juana Fernanda's my mother. She lives in Las Vegas. Don't you know her?" And I was like, "No, I don't know her." And she said, "My mother immigrated 8 years ago. And she said she would come back and that she would send us money so that we could survive. But we never heard back from her. Are you sure you don't know Juana Fernanda?" And then at this point, what do you say to this child? What can you tell a child of this age, of this innocence, about her mother? Can you tell her that her mother probably didn't make it across the border? That she probably didn't make it into the United States? And that's when everything came into perspective for me, when I finally realized the journey of a migrant, the walk of the immigrants, the journey that immigrants are making to get into this country every day. And I finally realized the very journey that my parents have made to get into this country. I finally understand the efforts and the amount of energy that my family, that my mother, my father have made in me and my personal growth. This game of chance that they took, they did something very special, my parents, when they made this decision. They looked at their land. They looked at the possibilities of their communities, of their countries, and they decided it wasn't enough. They decided that they were going to go to better soil. And they did something special. They planted a seed. And they took care of this seed for a long time. When it was sunny, they would give this seed extra water. When it was windy, they would hold an umbrella so the seed wouldn't damage. And they prayed, and they hoped that this seed would one day amount to something, that this seed would one day blossom into a flower. And then they planted 2 little seeds next to me. And they hoped for the best. They took a game of chance and they came into this country with nobody, with no family. And they prayed and they hoped for the best. And during this walk, I could finally understand and I could finally recognize the journey of an immigrant. I could finally understand why so many immigrants, so many fathers, so many mothers are coming into this country. They're coming for survival. They're coming for the hope of a better future, to provide their family with food, and the essentials, textbooks. They're coming to stay alive. And it's such a difficult time for the Latin American communities in this country. It's such a very difficult time for Latinos in this country. But it's perfect because we're all very lucky in a sense. Because right now, we are in the position that so many cultures have been in the past. We are in the position in which our community, the Latin American community, is being defined, is given meaning, is given structure, it's given essence by the decisions that we make today and the responses to these decisions. It's a very beautiful time for the Latin American communities, despite the adversities that we're going through. Because right now we have the potential to name who we are, to speak for our countries, and to grow. Can you please continue to the next slides? And I kept going. Can you stop right there, please? I'd like to introduce you to somebody very special. This is my little brother, Sergio. As I crossed into El Salvador, I was exhausted. I was tired. I was hungry. My feet were bleeding. My skin was dry from the sun. And I was tired. But it was a very special moment because I met my little brother for the first time. He's handsome, right? And I want to tell you something very difficult that's taking place in my family right now. We've been trying to get Sergio into this country for the past 18 years. And we've failed. Legally and illegally. We have failed. And because of that, and it breaks my heart to say this because I have El Salvadorian descent, El Salvador is such a difficult country right now. It's going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of gang wars. And because of the laws that are in place today, my little brother has to go through that. My little brother has to live without a father and without a mother because our government says so. And when I go to bed, I have to pray for him. I have to pray for him that he's okay. I have to pray for his health, that I'll hear from him again during the next couple of weeks. And there's absolutely nothing that my family can do to bring my little brother over. Can you please continue? And I kept photographing the entire way. Can you stop right there? I'd like to share this photograph with you. This is the Mexican-American border. And when I reached this border, it had been 3 months into my journey. I was tired. I was devastated. When you travel for so long, you're not physically exhausted. Your mental exhaustion eliminates everything that you own. Your dreams, your goals. It eliminates everything that keeps you motivated. And when I reached Juarez, I was tired. And I prayed to God to give me the extra strength that I need to cross the Mexican-American border. And right before I did, I saw a lot of things that broke my heart. I saw hundreds and thousands of immigrants getting ready to make this jump into the United States, into the land of freedom. And I prayed for them, because only God knows how many of those people will make it, how many of those people will jump into their death for their families, how many people will try to swim across the border, not for themselves, not for a nice car or a nice home, but for their families, for the very purpose of helping their families stay alive. And I looked at them, Ecuadorians, Colombians, from everywhere, from every country you could imagine, from the entire globe. I saw Africans, Asians, from Europe. I saw thousands of immigrants getting ready to make the final step into the United States, and I prayed for every single one of them. And I saw a lot of beautiful things throughout my trip. I saw a lot of natural wonders, and beautiful landscapes, beautiful people, beautiful communities, beautiful food. But I learned something very important. The pursuit of happiness is undoubtedly, exclusively, a fundamental right of all human beings on this planet. Thank you.
So thank you very much. Without a doubt, I want you to, next time that you take American Airlines Flight 966 from Quito, Ecuador to Miami International, think about what Saul went through and what every one of those people that are right now trying to get over here are going through. It's very easy to get on a plane and just to come in through immigrations and customs with your visa, your green card, or your American passport. And we're not going to make this an issue of immigration. It's just an issue of human rights. And when there is that rhetoric that we're just protecting our country, there are other rights that are being violated at the same time. And I'm pretty sure that we can read all we want about it and we can pretend like we know. We can read in textbooks in college. But we should be listening to people like Saul tell us his story. Because what could be a 3.5-hour trip from Quito to Miami is a 3.5, almost, month trip with Saul, who knows the real story. So thank you once again, and please join me with another round of applause for Saul. Now we're going to get to the presentation of the awards. And so we're going to start with art and culture. This award recognizes significant contributions to the visual, literary, cultural, or performing arts, media, communications, or to an organization that promotes artists or art programs in the Hispanic community. And before we roll the video, I just want to let you know the way this is going to work out is that I'm going to describe the award, then we're going to have a quick video showing you who is the recipient, and then we're going to have a special person introduce them, and finally, we will give the person the award. So let's go ahead and go with the first recipient, please, with the video.
Arte y cultura.
Irania Macias Patterson. Born in Caracas, she moved to the United States in 1991 with the goal of learning English, and since then she has called Charlotte home. Writing, acting, and teaching have always been major motives in her life, which have turned into great contributions to the Hispanic community of North Carolina. In 1997, Irania founded the first Spanish theater group in Charlotte, called Tablas Teatro de Arte, which went on to perform its plays in many museums and colleges. Since her arrival to Charlotte, Irania has contributed to many Spanish publications, including La Noticia newspaper, where she published one of the most acclaimed parenting magazines, La Ventana Mágica. Winner of 2 national literature contests in Tampa, Florida, called Premio Enrique José Barona, a national recognition for excellence in writing in the categories of short story and plays, and through her contributions, she continues to be a great resource for other teachers as they try to bridge learning gaps between Hispanics and non-Hispanic students. She's also the 2006 International Reading Association's Children's Choice Award winner for her book, Chippy Chippies, Small Shells of the Sea. Her latest book is entitled Wings and Dreams, The Legend of Angel Falls, recently published by Novello Press. Currently, She is a bilingual children's specialist for the Public Library of Charlotte in Mecklenburg County. Her two greatest achievements are her two amazing children, Samuel and Isabella Patterson. For these reasons and many more, we honor Irania with the 2010 Latino Diamante Award for Art and Culture.
Buenas noches. Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Diamante Inc., it's a real pleasure and a truly honor to present this Arts and Culture Award 2010 to a great artist, my friend, mi paisana y colega escritora, Irania Macías Patterson. Enhorabuena.
Well, thank you so much to the Diamante Award organization because they make real their mission. Thank you to Vano Valladares, who have opened so many doors for me. Thank you to the Public Library of Charlotte. Imagine being around books. I am an eternal student of life, thanks to the Public Library. And thanks to my ancestors, especially mi abuela, my grandmother, who used to tell me, when you are afraid, mija, don't close your eyes. Open them very wide so you can see the invisible monsters. I hope you find your inspiration for life like I do, and I hope you have fun like I do. Gracias. Thank you.
The next award is for business, and it recognizes excellence in the business and or corporate community. The nominee may be retired, self-employed, or otherwise working in the business field.
Business. Negocio.
Latino Community Credit Union. 14 years ago, a wave of robberies affecting the Latino community of Durham got the attention of community leaders as they realized that Spanish-speaking customers needed a bank they could trust and that will help them in their own language. In 2000, the Latino Community Credit Union was born, promising to bridge the divide between Latinos and the state's financial institutions. Since then, this credit union has helped countless Hispanic families become familiar with the financial system of the United States, from opening their first bank account to buying their first home. A recipient of many awards, including Best Credit Union of the Year and the Dora Maxwell Award for Social Responsibility, the Latino Community Credit Union has not forgotten about the people it set out to serve 10 years ago. Today, with 10 local branches across the state, this organization still offers free financial education for all the community so that Hispanics can learn to better manage their money and be on their way to economic prosperity. This year's Business Award is reserved for the Latino Community Credit Union for demonstrating new ways to contribute and lead the community through business.
Hello, it's my pleasure to give the 2010 Diamante Award for Business to the Latino Credit Union. I want to mention one thing. As we grow as a community, we need to keep in mind the kind of things that make us autonomous here in North Carolina. And one of those things is being able to control, to a certain extent, our economic lives. And the Latino Credit Union has been a very important first step as we take many steps forward and enjoy this 15-year anniversary with the Diamante Awards. John Herrera and his wife.
I have good news for you guys tonight. My name is John Herrera, and I'm a really proud member of the Latino Community Credit Union. And I want to tell Saul that Juana Fernanda is a socia of the Latino Community Credit Union. And on behalf of the 54,000 members of the Latino Community Credit Union, we're humble and proud to accept this recognition I want to recognize the leadership of Diamante Inc. and su fundadora, Lisette Cruz, and Rafael Osuba, and his board of directors who really had done an outstanding event. Thank you for this recognition. And I want to recognize the true people, the ones who do the work for the Latino Community Credit Union. If you can stand up, we got 2 tables back there of the gerentes, the people who stayed after we all go home to serve our community. They are the ones, in their honor, in their behalf, I'm proud to receive this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next award is the Community Involvement Award, and it recognizes contributions made to the Hispanic community through devotion of time and energy, with the goal of improving the quality of life of Hispanics in North Carolina.
Community Involvement. Trabajo en la comunidad.
Centro para Familias Hispanas. Centro para Familias Hispanas was founded by the Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Raleigh in 1997 with a grant from the Catholic Charities USA to provide disaster relief services to the Hispanic community in Wake County in the aftermath of Hurricane Fran. It is a program of Catholic Charities with the mission of empowering the Hispanic Latino community to meet the basic needs of their families and to become full participating members of our community. The center began with a half-time director and has grown into a center employing 3 full-time and 3 part-time staff with dozens of volunteers. Consuelo Cui serves as the director of the center and has been there since its inception. In the past year, CPFH has provided services to more than 4,000 families, directly impacting over 18,000 men, women, and children. The center partners with Wake Tech Community College to provide education programs. It also provides food assistance, Medicaid, food stamps, counseling services, early childhood intervention services, parent education, substance abuse treatment, school services, legal support, medical care, and much more. Through its numerous programs, the impact that the center has in the community is enormous. El Centro's dedication to the health, recognition, and respect of the Latino community in North Carolina and beyond has earned them the Latino Diamante Community Involvement Award.
Good evening. It is with great honor and pleasure that I present, on behalf of Diamante Inc., the 2010 Community Involvement Award to El Centro para Familia Hispana.
Good evening, everybody. I am Consuelo Cue, Director of the Hispanic Family Center, Centro para Familias Hispanas. I want to thank very much Diamante Inc. for this recognition. I also want to thank my boss, Kathleen Walsh, Director of the Catholic Diocese of Raleigh, all my co-workers, and everybody. Thank you very much. This has been an honor.
The next award is for education that recognizes outstanding contributions in the field of education through teaching, administration, research, and or participation in professional education associations.
Education. Educación.
The Hispanic Cultural Center of Charlotte. The Hispanic Cultural Center of Charlotte helps all Hispanic and Latino youth in the Charlotte area to achieve their educational dreams. HCCC is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the educational achievement and cultural awareness of all Hispanic Latino youth in the Charlotte area. Established over 5 years ago, the center has served more than 150 families each year through their programs. The education initiatives strive to provide access to educational resources and opportunities, facilitate parental involvement in the educational system, and build community coalitions. HCCC is best known for organizing an annual college fair known as the Hispanic College Fair. They enable parents and students to learn about various colleges, universities, educational institutions, military options, as well as how to apply for financial assistance. The organization is a conduit for the Hispanic community to get involved with their children's education and to help others succeed. HCCC has close relationships with the Mecklenburg Department of Health, the police, and Piedmont Community College. Diamante Inc. applauds the vision of co-directors Gilda Rubio Festa and Claudia Lumas Fernandez. And for this reason, Diamante Inc. presents the Hispanic Cultural Center of Charlotte the Latino Diamante Award for Education.
Good evening and buenas noches. It is a pleasure to present this award to the Hispanic Cultural Center of Charlotte, the Diamante 2010 Award for Education.
Thank you very much for being here and honoring us. Thank you, Diamante, for having this event to recognize the contributions to the Latino community. Do you know, ever since we were both young, we heard our parents say, "Mija, you need to do well in school. Go to college. Go to college." And so that is being echoed down to the different generations. And through the Hispanic Cultural Center, we are telling all of our mijos and mijas, go to college. So we hope that all of you can also support that. Of course, we could not have done this alone.
We have to thank our sponsors and our community, Charlotte Mecklenburg School System, the Latin American Women Association in Charlotte, all our volunteers, all our board of directors, and everyone who contribute for the events that you have seen in those pictures, and of course, our families. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. And our next award, Health and Science, recognizes individual contributions and achievements in the field of health and science. The nominee may have promoted these fields through individual performance, teaching, research, organizing programs, or assisting others.
Health and Science. Salud y Ciencias.
CELA, the UNC Center for Latino Health, Clínica Latina Gloria Suárez. The UNC Center for Latino Health, Clínica Latina Gloria Suárez, also known as CELA, in the School of Medicine serves to provide clinical care specifically for Spanish-speaking patients, to promote and coordinate clinical research, and to train healthcare providers to serve this population. CELA was funded by a grant from the School of Medicine's Investments for the Future, the IFF program. The hub of the new center is a multidisciplinary adult medicine clinic at UNC hospitals that was opened in fall of 2008. The clinic operates in cooperation with Piedmont Health Services, a private nonprofit organization that provides health care to people in central North Carolina through 6 community health centers. CELA brings faculty providers together with a bilingual infrastructure and support staff. In its initial phase, the clinic staff includes clinic manager Claudia Chaparro Rojas, nurse practitioner Elizabeth Prata, community liaison Myra McCarty, research manager Paris Height, and Dr. Douglas Morgan, CELA's director. The center attempts to move beyond an interpreter model for the provision of care. In doing so, it provides care to its patients in a 100% bilingual and bicultural manner. Diamante Inc. recognizes CELA with the Health and Sciences Award for its leadership, tireless service, and dedication to improving the health status of migrant communities in North Carolina.
Good evening. It's with great pleasure that I present the Health and Science Diamante Award on behalf of Diamante Award to CELA. Receiving this award is Dr. Morgan and Claudia Rojas.
Please give it up for them.
This is an honor to be here to receive this important award. But we want to share with everybody, every single person that works with us, This is a real teamwork. And we really love our Hispanic Latino patients, and we try to take care of them the best possible. So, and I want to thank the director of this program, Dr. Morgan, that thanks to him, this is a reality. And he's an American, but he's as Latino as me, as myself. And so this is Dr. Morgan. Good night.
Just one or two words, but we'd like to really offer sincere thanks to Diamante for their efforts through the year and certainly for this evening. The work is really importantissimo. And we'd like to offer sincere thanks really on behalf of the director staff and all the dozens of primarily Hispanic faculty and Hispanic staff and Hispanic volunteers who are trying to make a contribution in spite of the economy, in spite of the immigration non-reality, and in spite of health insurance realities. And we pause, I think we always pause to reflect with one of our colleagues from Nicaragua underneath the sombra de Sandino. Tiene un dicho y dice, pues, todo es un proceso. Todo es una lucha, todo es una travesía y vamos paso a paso, pero vamos bien. Gracias.
Our next award, Latino Advocate, recognizes individuals that have been advocating for Latinos interstate and have shown true leadership.
Latino Advocate. Líder cívico.
Ada Volkmer. Ada has been advocating for and making a difference in the Latino community of Western North Carolina for more than a decade. She was an immigration specialist with Catholic Social Services for 5 years, helping Latinos navigate the challenging ICE system. For the last 5 years, she has coordinated the Coalición de Organizaciones Latinoamericanas, providing networking and educational experiences for the Latino nonprofits in 16 of the western counties. She has taught Know Your Rights workshops to Latinos and has built a bridge to the mainstream community by leading immigrant reality workshops for churches, civic groups, and other organizations. She was a key organizer of the 2006 march, which saw 4,000 people peacefully demonstrating in Asheville. She's a founding member of Nuestro Centro, Asheville's first Latino center. Ada works tirelessly to bring people together to create support and understanding for the Latino community in Western North Carolina. Ada has proactively gathered with civic leaders, law enforcement personnel, and others to advocate for Latinos and to build awareness of the realities facing immigrants. In 2006, she was part of a civil suit filed against the city of Asheville for discriminatory practices and fees charged to Latino organizers of the march. Ada has a BA in International Studies from Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, and lives in Charlotte, North Carolina with her man-friend, husband, Michael McCleary. Tonight, Diamante Inc. recognizes Ada with the 2010 Latino Advocate Award. And to help me present this award, please welcome John Herrera.
It is truly a privilege and an honor to recognize a tireless advocate for immigrants and immigrant rights and ciudadana mexicana, Ada Volkmer, on behalf of Diamante Inc.
Les quiero dar las gracias por este reconocimiento y quiero decir que este trabajo que estamos haciendo no lo estoy haciendo yo sola, sino que lo estoy haciendo con mis compañeras que están en las montañas, mis compañeras en Asheville, en Hendersonville, en Brevard, en estos pequeños pueblos donde estamos luchando contra 287G, contra Secure Communities, contra las políticas anti-inmigrantes, contra el racismo. Y quiero agradecer a mujeres como Graciela Espinosa, como Miriam Arias, como Evelyn Alarcón, mujeres que no están aquí hoy en la noche, pero que están en la lucha, y yo las acompaño a ellas en esta lucha. Quiero agradecer a mi pareja por quererme tanto y a mi mamá que está aquí de México. Y a mi mamá que está aquí por enseñarme a ser una mujer fuerte y con mucho corazón. Gracias.
And the night is not over. Of course, the next award represents an investment in our future. It also represents our hope for a better tomorrow. It's an award that I'm very familiar with, and I'm talking about the Youth Accomplishment Scholarship Award. The scholarship is awarded to recognize individual contributions and achievements of Hispanic youth in North Carolina. And this year, we're proud to present 2 awards and 2 scholarships.
Youth Accomplishment. Logro Juvenil.
Ana Beatriz Cabello de la Garza. This charming Mexican-American young woman moved with her family from New Orleans to Asheville when Hurricane Katrina took everything they had. And here is where Anna's journey to help the community begins. In Nashville, Anna volunteered at the Buncombe County Medical Society and immediately won everybody's heart for being articulate, charming, and engaging with patients and doctors, always willing to help in any way possible. Anna is currently a student at UNC Chapel Hill, where she's well known for her great balance of academic excellence, leadership, and community service, all with a bilingual and bicultural approach. For years, she has been focused on international relations as a career. Through her volunteering, studies, networking, dedication to people, and willingness to learn, there is no doubt that she's well on her way to achieve her goal of being an ambassador to the United Nations. This year, Diamante Inc. Youth Accomplishment Award and Scholarship recognizes Ms. Ana Beatriz Cabello de la Garza for her ability to effectively manage her schoolwork, civic service, and family responsibilities.
It is with great joy that I present this award on behalf of Diamante 2010 to the Youth Accomplishment Award and Scholarship to Ana Cabello de la Garza.
Oops. I'm a little too tall. Si no sirves para servir, si no vives para servir, no tienes otra manera de agradecer a la gente. Estas son sabias palabras de mi abuelito y el pleno ejemplo de mi mamá. El corazón no tiene límites, no tiene barreras, no tiene fronteras tampoco. El corazón solamente sabe dar y dar con manos llenas. Todo el tiempo. Y esto es lo que les quiero decir a todos ustedes. Los invito a dar con todo el corazón y a compartirlo. Así que gracias por dejar compartir todo el amor que tiene mi corazón con todos ustedes. Este diamante se los comparto a todos y se los dedico a todos, pero en especial a mi mamá. Gracias.
Yeah, a continuación, next up is the second video for our Youth Accomplishment Award.
Accomplishment. Logro Juvenil.
Rafael Alberto Grillo Ávila. Rafael, originally from Alajuela, Costa Rica, has been raising awareness regarding the importance of conflict resolution, violence prevention, and community service since he was in middle school. As a Boy Scout, Rafael raised more than $2,000 through fundraisers over 5 years, which earned him the Order of the Arrow for outstanding leadership. A board member of many organizations and with more than 250 hours of community service throughout his career, this Princeton University student truly has the experience to work in his areas of interest: health policy, law, and human rights. Rafael is thankful for the education his parents gave him, and he says he's blessed for having the ability to confront and to surpass any challenges that come his way. Tonight, Diamante Inc. recognizes Rafael's initiative, talent, and determination with the Latino Diamante Youth Accomplishment Award and Scholarship.
Good evening. It's a great joy that I present on behalf of the Diamante 2010 Latino Youth Accomplishment Award and Scholarship to Rafael Alberto Grillo.
Pura vida! Thank you very much, Tati. And thank you to the selection committee, and thanks to all of Diamante for presenting me with such a prestigious award and for helping the Latino community in general. It is truly an honor to be alongside so many amazing people, from polyglots, painters, writers, to photographers, lawyers, scientists, what have you. The humanitarianism, the talent, and the dedication presented here has reaffirmed a belief that I hold dear to me, and that is that hard work, integrity, and passion can get you anywhere in life, and that we should never, never let culture, ethnicity, or whatever stand in the way of our dreams. Si podemos. Thank you.
And now to our most prestigious award, the Diamante Award.
The Lisette Cruz Watco Award. Premio Lisette Cruz Watco.
Jackie Metivier. A native of the state of Puebla, Jackie has always valued the ability to communicate in different languages, always with one goal in mind: bridge the divide between different communities. At the age of 12, Jackie moved to Colorado for 1 year in order to learn English, something that would later on be of great help to both the Hispanic community of North Carolina and businesses alike. A graduate of the Universidad Intercontinental in Mexico City, Jackie is not only a professional in the field of communications, but also the mother of 2 daughters. In 1991, she founded Bilingual Communications Incorporated, and since then, Jackie has been at the forefront of helping North Carolina businesses and agencies such as Golden Corral, BB&T, and the Division of Motor Vehicles make information available to the Hispanic community in Spanish. And it is because of these efforts that today North Carolina is more integrated, as Hispanics have information available to them in their native tongue, and businesses have now access to new and exciting markets. Tonight, Diamante Inc. recognizes Jackie Metivier with its most prestigious award, Lisette Cruz Watco Award, for her tireless service and dedication to improving the image of Latinos living in North Carolina. And of course, if the video didn't make clear of the achievements, and this award recognizes contributions made by an individual for more than 10 years to the Hispanic community through devotion of time and energy with the goal of improving the quality of life for Hispanics in North Carolina. And now to help me present the award to Ms. Metivier, please help me welcome Mr. Stephen Farrell from Food Lion.
Good evening. Good evening. It is my pleasure to be able to present this next Diamante Award. This is the first Lisette Cruz Watco Award, and the recipient is Jackie Metivier. Please help us recognize her.
First of all, I need to make sure this microphone is down because my husband said, "Sweetheart, make sure the microphone is down, otherwise they won't see your face." As you saw in that lovely picture, that is the day we met. He is 6'6", I'm 4'11", and my mother said, "Are you sure you want to marry him? Have you thought about your children? Look at them, they are gorgeous." Anyhow, I'd like to thank the Board of Directors for this award. It is very unexpected, truly. I've always believed we are the result of the people around us. And I was very fortunate to grow in Mexico and have two lovely, wonderful, loving, hardworking parents. Reason why all of us are very hardworking girls. I had three sisters that I always looked up to. Two of them are here, Jasmine and Karen. And I had a wonderful brother who we sorely miss. I have many, many friends that have made me who I am, and many clients who after 19 years keep coming back for Spanish translation and interpreting services. But most of all, I'd like to thank my husband, Paul, of 23 years, and my lovely daughters, Michelle and Andrea. And lastly, I would like to dedicate this to the two missing puzzle pieces in my heart. That would be my dad and my brother, Jimmy, who passed away 2 months ago. Thank you.
And now with a very special partnership award, help me welcome Diamante's president of the board, Rafael Osuba, one more time.
Wow, what a great evening, huh? Let's give it up for all our recipients. Now, it's my pleasure to present two organizations, two companies, two friends, two special partners that have helped us along the way to making the programs that we have available to the community. Many times the programs that we have are free. Mostly all of the programming that we have are free. And it's through these contributions and through these partnerships that we have made through the years with these long-lasting friends that we're able to do this. So it's my extreme pleasure to present the first special partnership award at our 15th annual to Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Good evening. It is an honor for us to receive this award tonight. This award represents the work that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina has been doing for many years and will continue to do to improve the health and well-being of our Latino communities across the state.
The award also validates the work that the great work we've been doing with the community partners, organizations such as Diamante, that help us out carry our vision and our mission. And over the years, we've invested time and resources in developing initiatives that help us create a stronger and healthier North Carolina Hispanic communities in our state. So we appreciate the nomination and the award. Thank you.
One more.
Deja vu. Once again, very proud of our next sponsor. This sponsor is our diamond sponsor and has been for several years now. And this is a company that has really laid it out for Latinos. They've started a great initiative by providing great services to Latinos. And I want to thank Food Line Sabor Latino for helping Diamante through these years in our various programs and for being a great partner. So thank you, Food Line.
Thank you, Rafael. Thank you. Hi again. Well, this time I'm here receiving an award, and that definitely is something that I'm grateful for. A lot of you may know Daniel Herrera, and he was not able to be here today, so I wanted to receive this on his behalf and on behalf of Food Lion. When I think about what this partnership award is, I think it is an affirmation of the work that we try to accomplish in our community as we reach out to our Hispanic community, our commitment to diversity and inclusion, and the collaborations that we've had with Diamante over the years, with Rafael, with other organizations such as the Latin American Coalition, the North Carolina Hispanic Society for Hispanic Professionals, and of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our great low prices in our stores, and of course our commitment to continuing to bring that to everybody, to our customers, and that's very far-reaching, and it is a serious commitment, and so we're very grateful to receive this award. We're very honored and humbled, and thank you very much.
What I'd like to do is just to talk to you a little bit. I know that the night is long, and I want to keep my remarks short. But I do want to just say thank you once again. It's been truly my pleasure to serve as the president of the Diamante board for the last 3 years. I really believe in what Diamante does. I am passionate about that. I really believe that we serve a purpose. I truly believe that the work that Latinos do in North Carolina increase the quality of life here in North Carolina. And I believe that it's through the arts that we can best tell our stories and best show who we are as a people.